say a couple things. Is this pretty much everybody for the referees? Yeah. Okay, so my mind was sidetracked when he was like, "You want to say something earlier?" I was just here to audit, right? So then I was put on the spot talking about the refs, so checked everything out, got back, had some things to think about, right? So we got to remember the high elevation that we were talking about, right? We definitely want to look for that today. Don't give it away, but definitely announce it. You know, high elevation, I really want you to say that. I want you to say reversal, right? Make sure you say reversal instead of sweep. That's a big thing, okay? Saying reversal instead of sweep. But also pushing the pace. Like, no joke, guys, I want you to think about television. Has anybody watched what's been going on with Caffeine TV with us? Okay, USA Grappling, you got us pushing real big towards the Olympics. You got us on the path trying to get towards television, right? And so those are going to be high-paced, fast matches. And same thing with these matches. We don't have 10-minute matches here. We don't have slow-paced matches, okay? But you also have rule changes here that have allowed for refs basically to call stalling at will. You're probably used to just watching somebody and then looking at your watch and waiting 20 seconds. If you see a full-blown body lock from closed guard, that is obviously not a guard pass. If somebody's just holding down, and I'm not talking instantly, you can tell as an educated grappler that is refereeing a match that this dude is stalling. Penalty, stalling. Start making the pace go fast. They can chill and mount, they can chill and back control, they can secure it like anything else. But then it is the responsibility of the athlete that continuously try to seek a submission or advance. If they are in mount or back and they are not doing anything for 3 minutes, it's not just the responsibility of the bottom person to escape. It is the top person's responsibility to continuously seek an advancement in position or a submission. That's the point of this entire thing. So you can call stalling a lot more. I just want you guys to understand that the mentality is fast-paced grappling. We want you to lift people up. We want you to take you down. We want you to submit them. That's what we want. We want you to guard pass. We want you to keep moving. We want you to get off your back. We want you to sweep people, or we want you to attack from your back. So that's the mentality that I want you to keep, okay? So that's something to go into it throughout the day as well. Keep on the ring coordinators with the volume so that you're like, hey, say the points back to me, you know, because sometimes you might give the wrong points. I do that too. You give the wrong points on red. Don't be afraid to call time. Don't be afraid to say, hey, put 5 seconds back on the clock. Don't be afraid to just stop the whole damn show and say, I screwed up. Go to the table, fix the 2 points here, fix the 5 seconds. Don't be afraid to take control. You can stop stuff like that. When you put hands on people when you stop, try not to just say, stop, right? Try as much as you can, if you can, to say stop in a position. And when you stop them, you say you got your left hand here with an underhook, you got a right hand here, blah, blah. We're gonna return to this position in the center. And then you go back to the center and then you repeat the same things that you just said. You got a right underhook here, you got a left grip over here. Ready, set, grapple, right? So you try to say those same things because we know if you competed, not just ref, people try and cheat a little bit. People had a right underhook, and that's their bad side, so they try and start with the left underhook when they get to the center of the mat. You got to pay attention to that, especially the second half of the day. Okay? So that's something you guys got to watch. I try and say that to make us a better rep. Constantly keep moving. Constantly keep moving. This will keep your attention span going. When you start to mentally drift, it's when you're chilling. That's when you mentally drift. If you keep moving, you keep looking, you keep doing this, and you keep moving, you don't keep your back to the coach, you don't keep your back to the video camera, because all these matches are recorded, right? If you keep actively moving, it'll keep you mentally attached to your body, and the brain will keep moving with your body. Your brain will sit and do this if your body does this. I've noticed that when you referee, okay? So you'll stay mentally awake if your body keeps moving. Okay? Don't be afraid to ask Ramon for a break. If you absolutely are like, dude, your legs are starting to buckle. If you got a knee injury or something like that, speak up. It's not the end of the world, okay? So do not walk away. I'm one of those dudes, I'm absolutely rigid about do not walk away from your mat. Do not tell your ring coordinator. Your ring coordinator doesn't need to know you need to take a piss. The head referee or the guy running the event needs to know. Who needs to know that you need to go to the bathroom?
The head referee.
And the guy running, those are the only two people. Telling this guy on mat 7 doesn't matter. Telling the ring coordinator doesn't matter, because during that dead time, they should be getting new mats. They should be running right away. okay? So it should also give you time to go take a break. You should be able to take more of a break than just running off. Okay? You did have a no-show today, okay? Go online. Talk about how great AGF was today. You love working for us, and dog them fools that no-showed on you. Dog them fools that no-showed on you. Don't dog on AGF, dog on the people. That's horrible to no-show on people, man. We all train with each other. I'm sure we're gonna run with those people eventually, right? You know what I'm saying? So like, we gotta have less breaks because of people who give their word and say we're gonna be somewhere at work, and then they don't even show up. So don't forget to dog them. I don't want to be the only one dogging them online. Anything else you guys need to remember at all? Never will you ever give a combination of points. A combination of points will never happen with two separate sets of times. I will never pass the guard to mount and give the guard pass
and the mount,
and then give the mount. You will give 7 points at one time. 3 points guard pass, 4 points mount, right? You will never give a takedown with high elevation, one without the, or you won't give a high elevation without the takedown. You won't get 2 points for the takedown plus the high elevation. You also won't give a high elevation. I've noticed this since we've been doing it. We won't give a high elevation point ever without a takedown. If a guy likes to go here, and he gets mat returned, right? You know, like, so if I go here and he puts his hands on the mat, but I'm lifting real high, you know, you can get some high mat returns happening from people, but he goes, and he pops back up. You're gonna get a lot of high elevation happening, but they're not scoring ever 1 point. They're never scoring 1 point. It will only be 2 plus 1. So he's gonna have to have a knee down or put him on his back. Right, so you gotta control the turtle and put him on his back. So that's something that we get into the new rules.
For the submission attacks, are we giving 1 point or 1 advantage?
We don't do advantages anymore. You're not gonna ref the first match. You're sitting down and you're gonna go with Ramon. Now you just said that. 1 point for, there's no advantages anymore at AGF. We'll just review with him when we're done, okay? There's no advantages. 1 point for submission attacks only. 1 point for high elevation, okay? Any other questions or anything now that I remembered stuff? Anything from Ramon?
So, a couple of things. I'm the medic. Worked a couple of these. One of my biggest pet peeves is somebody off work with me. Please don't, if somebody goes out, please don't raise legs. You start causing seizures, you start causing a whole bunch of other problems. Sternum rub, yell for me, yell medic, come get me, whatever. I've got ammonia capsules, worst case scenario. We'll get them awake if we need to. Don't wake them up, let them wake themselves up. I'll be walking up and down. If you don't see me, yell medic. I'll come looking for you guys. I don't jump into matches unless you need me. So I'm not going to go looking to, just because somebody got slammed or something, I'm jumping in a match. If you need me, holler for me, unless it's obvious.
For social media, that's been figured out like 15, 20 years ago that you don't lift their feet up when they're choked unconscious. Blood rushes back and cause clots, seizures, freaking strokes, all kinds of stuff. Don't lift their feet up. That's an old bad tradition. It's a medic that told you that. Keep going if you want to. I'll cut the clip there.
That's my biggest stuff, guys. Just, I don't like to jump in. You know, people are doing their thing. It's not my spot to jump in unless you want me. Nosebleed or something, I'm gonna give them a little nose clip, pack them up, let them sit for a few, and if it doesn't stop, that's on them. I can't make it stop. I'm not gonna stop matches. It's not what I'm here for. Let them do their thing. Other than that, y'all have fun. If you need me, let me know, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thanks, bud.
All right, so one last thing, okay? Here's the biggest thing that I want you to remember. I'm gonna let you go right now. From the new people to the old people, the biggest thing that I realized the more that I travel around AGF, the more that I'm in jiu-jitsu, right? When I was a lower belt, I was refereeing on the weekends. I was doing the same thing, right? And I grew up this way. But then the more that I've been around, I realized that people come up to me like, yo, Brandon, you were my first ref at my first ever match. I'm like, oh shit, I started to get emotional. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, or like, and sometimes it's, hey, remember when you were the ref for my match when I broke my arm at purple belt? You know, so it's not always the greatest, but sometimes it's a tearjerker. But always remember that you are people's memories, and it's very important. So smile, have fun. That's something about AGF. As I was hearing something the other day, they're like interviewing Chris. If you haven't seen that on IG, they were talking about like, dude, there's a vibe when you come into AGF. Every tournament has their vibe. And so I want you to give off that vibe. I want you to have smiles. Right? I want you to have smiles so that it already appeases people, but that's what we want customer service. We want people to have a good time. Some of these kids, and let's be real, the adults, are scared shitless, right? So like, smile to them, be nice, that kind of stuff. But the other thing is, no matter how nice we are, we do not coach people through matches. We do not say, come on guys, let's go. That's a penalty for stalling. So do not coach people through matches, though, no matter how nice we are, okay? That's one thing that I wanted to last put out there is be super nice, be super friendly. Also, be professional, be a step above other events where we make sure that we call people on, right? We don't just let competitors be out there bouncing around and on the mat without the referees as well, okay? Professionally make sure they come on, but don't have an attitude about it. Don't get upset if they don't know that. A lot of tournaments don't do that. So teaching them that may be new for some people. Some adults are in freaking kill mode when you're trying to tell them to chill out. So just remember that as well too, okay? But get them to stay on the mat side and then come forward, all right? That's about it in terms of anything I tried to remember real quick, okay? But yeah, we'll get lunch eventually. All right, let's go.